Dosm Rider Review. Hey YouTube, Dosm Rider here with my next top 5 video. This is the top 5, it says worst, but it's more like my top 5 least favorite Power Rangers seasons, because it's not like I did some sort of giant research and like mathematical something to like determine where actually the least, or the top 5 worst. So like, this isn't me telling you these are the worst seasons, you have to believe me. I mean, I'm not trying to piss anybody off necessarily. I usually do. So what I'm ultimately saying here is, if you like any of these seasons, they suck and you're stupid for liking them. No, I'm just kidding. Sort of. No, but yes, I don't know where I'm going with this. This has started off magically. Just real quick at the beginning, at the last video, I talked about how I wasn't sure the order, or the rhyme or reason of how these videos will go in terms of topics, but I have a semi-order going on, so I did best, now I'm doing worst, and I'll probably do the same for Sentai and Rider, not sure which one I'll start with, and then it might be random from there, just FYI. Also, thank you to everybody just for giving me good feedback on the last video, lots of comments, various little discussions, and the video did pretty decently well from what I was considering. I thought I was going to do lesser than it did. But regardless, I'm just happy that it did well enough that I feel okay about continuing these instead of just rambling into a camera for nothing. But anyway, so this list is a top 5, and since it's a top 5, bottom 5, it's kind of like a loose 5 in terms of like, the last one was very much so, this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and with this, number 1 is the one I hate the most, and 5 the least, but basically in the middle it's just kind of a gray area, if that makes any sense. So basically, only really count number 1 is the one I hate the most, because everything else is just kind of jumbled, because my brain can't handle a best-worst list. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I've rambled for like a minute about nonsense, and there's like 2 people left, and one of them's George. Hey George. Anyway, so, let's get started. Okay, number 5, the easiest target, which I hate putting on this list because it is the easiest target in the fandom, is Super Megaforce. Now, with each of these, I'm going to try to say something positive about the season so I don't come off overwhelmingly negative about each one. But the thing about Super Megaforce is it's definitely not a really good season. But the things I dislike about it, or reasons it's one of my lesser favorites, is not the reason most people do. I feel like it had a lot of hype around it. I felt like people felt really entitled because it was Gokaiger footage, and they really wanted anniversary stuff, and a lot of that stuff didn't upset me. I was kind of looking forward to a more quiet anniversary because Sentai and Rider has basically not stopped doing anniversary crossover celebrations since Decade, and I'm like done. So I was really looking for something more quiet. So that wasn't why I was upset. I was actually kind of happy with the way they handled the new powers. I kind of liked it. I didn't have a problem with it. For the main reason that I dislike it is it was a lot of wasted potential. And honestly, at the center of that is the hybrid idea, which I actually really like. I think ultimately I would have preferred if they had just had them lose their Megaforce powers and gotten them Super Megaforce powers instead of transforming. But the hybrid idea, in a way, to me, felt like a cool way to celebrate part of PR's anniversary aspects, because back in the day we used to do that, where we would go from season to season with changing suits and like people, you know, slowly, maybe one person at a time, but instead of changing the cast every year at the beginning, that's what we did. And it felt like a really cool way to pay tribute to that. Like, the transition between Megaforce and Super Megaforce did give me a little bit of that same feeling from when they transferred to Zeo, and they could have really capitalized on that. And there was a lot of really cool ideas that came from the hybridization, if that's a word, that just didn't come across very well. And it's a lot of missed opportunities. Honestly, that's the thing I'm disappointed about most. It's nothing to do with the cameos or doing justice to Gokaiger. I don't really think whether the Sentai was good or bad should have any bearings on expectations of this Power Rangers series, because in the right hand you could make a terrible Sentai into a good Power Rangers show and vice versa. So yeah, I like hate to put that on the list, but it definitely is one of the weaker seasons, but I'm not as much of a Megaforce basher as most people. Okay, number 4. Now this is where I'm going to probably start pissing people off. Lost Galaxy. Wait, I forgot to do number 4 so you know it. I'm not a fan of that season. Again, there's a lot of cool ideas in that season, and there's things I like. Like, I really like the pilot, I really like the sets, and I love, like, the Quasar Sabers and whatnot. But it just kind of... I wanted to really like it when I rewatched it last year for my videos, and it comes off like such a mess. It's disjointed for me. A lot of it just really doesn't hit. It felt like a lot of really good ideas that I should be liking, and concepts and characters that I feel like I should like the Magnet Defender. I don't hate him or anything, but I feel like that would be a character I would like, but I'm just like, eh. I mean, it's probably just a personal thing, because I know a lot of people like that season, and there is cool things in it. I mean, I love the Corone storyline, because she's one of my favorites of all time, but honestly, most of the reason I love that storyline comes from build-up from In Space. So, yeah, just Lost Galaxy was kind of a hot mess for me, and I really wanted to like it the past 2 times I rewatched it, even the time before, and it never worked out. Okay, number 3, Lightspeed Rescue, which has all of a sudden in the last couple years taken off as like one of the most like worshipped seasons for I don't know why. I think it's because of the Titanium Ranger and his Kmart suit, but like it's never been like exactly hated or loved back when I was early days in the fandom. I don't know why I did this move, but like it just seems like in recent years all of a sudden it's exploded. Like it's up there with MMPR and like Time Force and stuff that people just all of a sudden think it's amazing. And having rewatched it, you can watch all the videos I've done for seasons on these to get like more in-depth views on it. But it's just kind of mediocre for me. Just a lot of it feels like, oh, that was kind of solid, but it's nothing really amazing. The characters, for the most part, fall flat for me. The only one I really like is Joel, because I find him entertaining. But like, everyone's like, Carter's such a badass. And I'm like, he's just like Captain Cardboard 2.0. And the Titanium Ranger has a really cool backstory, but then he turns into just a total nub when he becomes good. He's like goes from I was raised by demons to golly gee pop, how can I help fight the demons? It's like I don't like him. I think he's way overblown just because he was the first American Ranger. It's just that season is very average to me. Like if I have to watch an episode or watch it, I'm not like hate watching it, but I think the fact that people are all of a sudden worshiping it draws attention to how mediocre it is. Which is a great segue to my number 2, which will probably piss even more people off. I'm ready for it. Which is Dino Charge, which is with Supercharge smushed in there, and like I shouldn't do that because it's not done yet, but the good thing about splitting the seasons is that I can put it in there now with a half season basically done because they're split in 2. And the thing about Dino Charge is I also did a video on this, and I don't want to bring Supercharge too much into it, but what we've seen so far is mostly filler, and based on the spoilers, there's a lot of cool ideas coming in, but it's still mixed with a lot of filler, and it seems like we're doing it all at once. But I'm going to save giving opinions on that truly until I actually see it for myself, but it's not sounding that great in execution. But the thing about Dino Charge is kind of what I just said, is it has a lot of really cool ideas, and for me I think it has all of the pieces to have been a really awesome show, and I really enjoyed it when it first started. And because it did a lot of things better to start off than Megaforce and Samurai did, it was like a noticeable improvement within the first little batch of episodes. But then because of that, I feel that its popularity got way overblown, and there's like almost like a cult-like following of it, where even if you're not like being a jerk like me and saying something about Dino Charge like really sarcastically on Twitter, like if you just so much as say like, well, maybe they should have explained this, they're like, trust in Chip, he believes, just fill in the blanks for yourself, it doesn't matter. And it's like, I've seen people that, like I said, aren't sarcastic jerks like me that are just making legit points. Like, all of a sudden, people are like jumping to its defense like you've attacked the Bible or something. And I think that that level of worship really drew a lot of attention to how mediocre Dino Charge is for me. Like, during the hiatus between the first half of Dino Charge and the second, I rewatched the first half probably about twice. I rewatched it like basically in order, and then I caught most of the episodes on reruns. And it really drew attention to how, yes, there was improvements from Samurai and Megaforce, but it really wasn't that good. And this is probably the most influenced by other people's opinions, but it's other people's crazy like worship for it that like drew attention. I feel like if people weren't so hyped up about it, then I probably wouldn't be as hard on it. I would still notice the flaws, but like they're drawing attention to it. It's like they're causing me to be suspicious of it. But yeah, it's kind of like Megaforce. It's a disappointment for me. We'll see how it ends. Like I said, there's a lot of cool ideas. There's things I like Philip and Chase, but a lot of missed opportunities. And the fact that my main 2 gripes are just not getting backstory on certain things. Like the Zords, we apparently are going to get backstory on them, but the way it was presented, it should have been, if it was going to be a wait, it should have been presented in a way that was like, oh, this is a mystery that you're going to wonder about, instead of making me feel like I've gotten a redacted document, or things like never explaining Kendall's backstory. But anyway, I've ranted on it too long, and I'm sorry if I pissed you off, sort of. Alright, number 1, and if you watch me or follow me in any form, you probably know what this is. Number 1, least favorite season of all time, MMPR Season 1. Oh, it's so bad. Now, this season, the MMPR in general, but specifically the first season, is what so many of us in the fandom grew up with, and outside the fandom, the quote-unquote casuals. So it's easily the most worshipped, with again, question mark, because it's nostalgic for people. And like I said, I grew up with it as well, so it's not as if I came in at a different season and went back and watched this and like, man, this is terrible. No, I grew up with it, and that's what got me into it, but I went back and I've watched it, rewatched it in full last year, I think it was, when I first started my rewatch series, and then I've rewatched episodes sporadically whenever the occasion arose, and it's pretty bad. Like, this is something I've been thinking about a lot recently with other various things, but I won't bring into it, but there's certain older things that started something that you can say, yes, I have respect for this, that it started this, and for the time it was innovative. And you can say that about a lot of things. But then there's things that you can say that about, and they still hold up, and things that you can say that about that don't. And I think MMPR is something that you can say, okay, this started PR, it started a lot of the concepts and ideas that would make the series, and I can have respect for it in that, but like going back and rewatching it, it doesn't hold up. Like, the best example I could think of right now, for whatever reason, is the original Planet of the Apes movies. It's really old, and I really don't like old things. But, like, for the time, it had some really innovative stuff. And I go back and watch it, and I'm like, damn, that's still a good movie. So, I don't know why Planet of the Apes all of a sudden happened in this, but yes. But MMPR Season 1 has no plot. The only plot, really, is Green with Evil, and then, like, the final battle, which isn't even really the final battle, because the season finale was like technically Zack fighting that oyster monster, but having to go through the whole thing, it's all filler. And the characters are, I know MMPR is cheesy, but it's like, especially when you watch the other seasons, it's like they talk so unrealistically and goody two-shoes the way no one behaved in almost any era. And there's just nothing going on, and people wouldn't be that goody two-shoes, and it's just, it was painful to watch. Even in some of my lesser favorite seasons in this rewatch, there's pockets of enjoyment, but MMPR was like torture. And again, coming back to some of the things of other people's things influencing it, but the worship of it coming from not only our fandom, but the outside, you know, those classic commenters on the Facebook being, nothing beats the originals, MMPR! And it's like, have you watched it? It's so bad. Or they'll be like, oh man, they really tried to keep going after MMPR, but nothing beats the originals, when like literally everything else after that was better. Like, everything. Like, I like Samurai and Megaforce way better than MMPR Season 1. It definitely got some improvements and some stuff that brought PR's unique, weird, like, expanded universe in Season 2 and 3, but Season 1 is just downright painful to watch. Like, just, I don't like it. But so yes, this was my top 5 worst seasons, likely pissing more people off than my top 5 best seasons, but it is my opinion, and my opinions tend to be more radical than most of the fandoms. And like I said, I'm not saying that these are the definitive worst seasons of all time in the history of, like, time. I'm saying just for me. But so yeah, thank you for watching. Again, feel free to post yours, or film like a response video like those old, you know, getting to know insert franchise fan here. So, I'm not sure. The next one will be a best, and then I'll do a best and a worst, or least favorite, I guess, of Sentai or Rider. I'm not sure which one I'll do first. You can feel free to comment which one you'd rather see. Maybe I'll tally those up. Maybe I'll do a Twitter poll. Probably not, though. But yes, again, thank you for the response to these videos. I enjoy making them, and I'm glad I can keep making them. And I'm going to, like, try to stop myself now before I keep rambling on. So anyway, until next time, make sure to check the Crazy Podcast and WritersRangeRambles.com. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dosm Rider, signing out.